Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Report has it that after, the Oshun goddess, spat out blood, the Lafogidi dynasty, their elders have, summoned their daughters. And, their daughters happen to be Ebony and Bloblo, to warn them to stay away from trying to stop the full moon ritual. That the full moon ritual is not something to be played with. That this full moon ritual has happened in the past with cases that were similar to this Ooni of Ife's case and Queen Naomi. And those who resisted the ritual, none of them stayed alive to tell the story. That the reason why the gods have not struck yet is because Kabiyesi has not removed his immunity. They don't want to disappoint him. Because when the god makes an oath, when you make an oath with the gods will keep their part and they will be so patient with you. That all this nonsense, all of these women are doing with it, that let them try it. Try the day that Kabiyesi will remove immunity, they should try it. That very day, the gods will act immediately. Now, you know that in every family, they have the good, the bad, the ugly. Elders of the Lafogidi who have been quiet, who are the good ones, who do not want problems, have sat down. They say, woman no go there for house, or person no go there for house. Allow God, allow God, born pikin with rope for the goat neck. That's the reason why they spoke. That they need to back out, that this thing, they are taking it too far. Even some elders of the Lafogidi dynasty who were, supporting their daughters from the very beginning. But when they saw how far their daughters have taken this fight to, they leave, they come out their hand, they no want wahala. They no want trouble at all. They remove their hands. They have told them to stay away and that it's enough. Enough is enough. They have the greedy ones who are collecting money from them, deceiving them and all of that. You know that Bloblo found out early and removed her hands. Because with the way things are going at this time, people, majority, as in more people are beginning to believe that Bloblo is no longer that side again. Yes, they are. Because at this time, maybe they're quiet. You don't send anybody anywhere. She does not want, because she knows that you say all these elders who are pushing and pushing and pushing, something happens, they will not be there. Now for their own belly that they push, boy, Bonnie no agree here. As we are hearing, if the information is correct. They say the tension in the palace is no longer just spiritual, it's ancestral, generational, and deeply dangerous. As the full moon ritual for Queen Naomi's restoration draws near, the palace is brimming with fear, silence, and trembling resistance. But for some of the wives who have tried secretly and publicly to obstruct the process, the warning has now come clear, stern, and terrifying. They say the Lafogidi elders, keepers of ancient secret, custodian of royal traditions, and bloodline witnesses of the Oonis spiritual authority have broken their silence. They invited two of their most, stubborn palace wives, Bloblo and Ebony, into a private courtyard meeting under an ancient Ogba tree where judgment had been passed for centuries. The message was brief but unforgettable. Withdraw from this battle. Stop fighting the ritual. If you interfere again, we cannot stop the gods. The Oonis immunity is the only thing keeping you guys alive. Dela right, it is not a small something, no. Wahala big. Where all these women go, they do, I want marry Ooni of Ife, I want marry Ooni of Ife. Go marry. You think it's easy? They only live in dietary. Be very careful. Don't say Delaram did not tell you. Don't say Delaram did not tell you. Let me talk and open my eye like that girl that has that is doing a Facebook ad. They said these elders are not politicians. They don't attend palace feasts or pose for photographs. They are rarely seen. Only summoned during moments of spiritual crisis. For them to personally summon wives of the Ooni of Ife meant only one thing: the gods were angry, and blood could be shed if they do not back down. Bloblo and Ebony arrived at the compound accompanied by their maternal uncles. They believed it was just another family warning, but when they entered the courtyard and saw the three carved tools positioned in the traditional triangle of spiritual judgment, they realized this was no ordinary, gathering. The elders began by invoking the names of their ancestors, pouring libation, and calling on the spirit of Laforgive, the ancient priest who once won a past Oni not to break the chain of spiritual covenant with his queen. Then they turned to the women. You two have crossed boundaries, especially you, but thank God you have realized that the route you are taking is bad. You have decided to leave them. You have crossed boundaries, Ebony. Even after your mother's dream about your father warning you, you're still going on and on and on. You are mocking the gods, so you have tried to stop a ritual you do not understand. The full moon ritual is not a gathering of women and gossip. It is the alignment of Ile-Ife with the heavens. If you fight it, you fight the land itself. You need to back out. They say Ebony tried to speak but was quickly silenced. Don't interrupt when the ancestors are speaking. One of the elders snapped. They went on to explain that Queen Naomi's return is not just the king's desire, it is the decision of the divine. The last 3 full moons had signaled the alignment of Oduduwa's lineage with Naomi's Ori. That is why the sacred grove was reopened. That is why the Yanifas were given the green light to perform the ancestral rite. And that was the reason why they were able to get all the items that was not even supposed to be on that list. The elders revealed something even more shocking, a secret the palace had kept hidden from them. They said that, the reason why Kabi Esi had allowed them to stay outside the palace is because they don't want anything to happen to those women inside that palace. They don't want it. They don't want anything to happen to any of them inside that palace because some of them, the gods have said they will be so stubborn until they will strike them. And Yanifa won because he told Kabiesi that by the time something happens, people will be calling your name. Let it happen to them outside, not inside your palace. And that was why they asked people to leave the palace. Gospel entered palace there. And afternoon like this, Gospel was screaming. She entered palace to go. She needed to meet with some visitors. It's not the entire world that knows that, of course, what is going on. So visitors who will come, they'll still meet them in the palace. They say after that, she decided to just doze a little. She was screaming like somebody that had gone by mad. For what? So they told them, they said, see, the reason why you are outside now is not because of anything. It's because they don't want anything to happen to any of you inside the palace. So be very careful. They warned them. And everybody was shocked. I'll bring you more updates. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.